haven't seen my smoothie before, I'm going to show you how to make, in my opinion, probably the greatest smoothie online. It's very powerful, but I like to use clean water. So just so you know, carbon distillation, that's what I'm doing. And then of course, the hydrogen water. And that's obviously extremely important to prep the body. And we're going to be putting those things in the smoothie today too. So let's just go ahead and make it. And if you guys have any questions, of course, probably none. All right, I'm just gonna do my morning routine, and I don't have a microphone today in my ear, so. All right, first it always starts with Power Shake because nutrients. And I found this actually works quite well. Better than a multivitamin because the body responds to food. So this is food. And I know that my food is gonna be deficient, quote unquote. It's not gonna have all the nutrients I need, so I'm supplementing with this. This is from iShopPurium.com. Discount code Uprising 144K. If you guys wanna know where to get some of this stuff. This is actually organic turmeric or turmeric. Good for the brain, good for inflammation, good for fighting cancer in my opinion. I will say, I don't give any medical advice. I'm not making any medical claims. Everything I say is just my opinion. I'm not making any claims for or against any product or products, guys. So just put that out there. This is just what I do. Raw cacao actually seems to be really good for the brain, actually. Cognition. It's also an anti-inflammatory. It seems to actually help people with some pains, but most everything in here is going to be anti-inflammatory or anti-aging or anti-parasitic. Very simple ingredients, nothing crazy expensive. This is just some minerals and some nutrients somebody gave me, so I've been putting them in the smoothie lately. Not that I use it totally regularly. All right, right back. Gotta get some flax seeds and some greens. Acidic smoothie. But you gotta get your body right, you know. If you're wanting to, quote unquote, some people talk about trying to survive the apocalypse. You really have to have the strongest of health. And in my opinion, you have to be able to battle potentially radiation. And that's where the hydrogen water really comes in. But these smoothies just make me feel so good, and I'm actually surprised, but maybe not, how many people have done it and just really love the way they feel. I will also say you can ask any questions while I'm doing this, because this is, I get a lot of emails with questions, and this is basically the time to ask questions while I'm doing my morning routine. But yeah, I did already drink hydrogen water off camera. I didn't do that on camera. Always like to load up on a bunch of the hydrogen water. And that's, in my opinion, a very important way to start the day. And it's very much a part of my protocol every single morning. Gotta load up on the hydrogen water. Super clean water, guys. If you were to see what was in the water, it would absolutely shock you. Now, sometimes you can actually see it. When you do, so if you use a carbon distiller, which is what I recommend because the data clearly shows it's the best way to clean water. It was kind of funny. I remember somebody buying one and getting back to me, and they're like, oh my gosh, the tank is so dirty. I can't believe it. The machine sucks or something. And I said, I don't think you understand that what you're seeing in the tank that appears to be so dirty is actually what it's filtering out. That's literally what it's taken out of the water so you don't drink it. And then all of a sudden, they were very happy. And like, oh my gosh, really? I'm like, yeah, you're not drinking that now. You know, sometimes it seems weird to me. I feel like health, I guess, isn't super complicated, but I feel like we overcomplicate it. And water filtration, like literally people think that you can just drink tap water and they think it's fine. You know, it's amazing until they actually see some data. Once you show them, then it's different. but the stuff that's in our water is, I'll tell you right now, mind-boggling. Even some of the stuff in our food, really. The whole thing is crazy. So you just have to really, really prepare your body in order to, you know, be healthy. I mean, our whole body has to deal with all the stuff that goes in it. So it may not be the most exciting of conversations. May not be of interest to people. By the way, I'm putting in super greens, spinach, chard, kale. And yes, this is every morning, and it feels really good. Not, people think it's difficult. I don't know if I would say it's that difficult, but it becomes a habit. I think I will. I'm debating about skipping a specific ingredient today, but we'll see. Always have to wash the produce. And I don't think enough people consume enough fiber. In fact, the data on fiber, for those who haven't heard, the body just requires such a massive amount of fiber, and it has all these functions, and more that we're still learning about. You know, and it's way more important than I ever knew, and I really wish, actually, as a child, that I would have a lot of fiber. In fact, what I probably should title the video, anybody can give me a suggestion of what they think the titles should be, but I think the title would really be how to overcome constipation, because it's really quite easy, actually. Just basically having these smoothies in the hydrogen water, easy. You'll never get constipated. And it's important to keep things moving, you know, as they say. I put the flax seeds in there. This thing is basically full of as much nutrients and anti-inflammatories as I could basically put in there. By the way, if you guys can hear me, let me know, because I've been having trouble with the microphone lately. And I do not know, maybe sometimes I feel like I'm just talking to myself. And thanks for the thumbs up and support. And, you know, for the most part I do this. I mean, I'm going to do this anyway, you know, making my smoothies in the morning. But a lot of people really say that it's just kind of motivational for them, I guess. And, you know, before you knock it, you should definitely try it for at least a month. And you'll see the difference. It's too bad you probably can't do blood work at that time, but you would definitely see the difference. As many people who have tried it they always tell me that. They're like, gosh, it just makes me feel so good. Personally, I think one of the keys is, well, fiber. Just fiber and hydration and minerals. A lot of minerals. From actual food, you know, not just a supplement. I think getting it from your food is just extremely important. You know, I'll share with you guys, I was watching a, yeah, sounds fine, I can hear you. Oh, great. I was just watching an interview, actually. I don't know if you guys have heard about it or seen it, with a guy named Brian Johnson. He's like a multi-millionaire tech guy who's trying to live longer or be younger. By the way, walnuts. And spending a lot of money to do it. Trying to use all the latest science. A little surprised he doesn't know about hydrogen water because of the anti-aging properties and some of the studies in Japan on it. It's actually kind of comical. But maybe he'll learn about it soon. And if you look up any of these ingredients, you're going to find something. Let's see here. Yeah, it sounds fun. Oh, Northern Yeti, made alive, finally. There you go. Yeah, cool. Yeah, blueberries. You know, you're going to notice if you Google any of these ingredients, what you're going to find out is that almost every single one of them is good for your heart. There seems to be a correlation, actually, between fiber and heart health. But I'm gonna put some, let's see here, some hydrogen water in here. Hold on a second. Yep. It's been a while, Northern Yeti. Haven't seen you for a while. Today I got extra bananas. You know, it's weird. I actually found some interesting information that bananas appear to have some anti-parasitic properties. That's kind of interesting. I also found some new information about dementia and Alzheimer's. I was thinking about sharing with the audience. It has to do with a specific compound, though the data that I'm finding more and more on Alzheimer's and dementia appears to be a mixture, or it could be one of three things, even though the result is the same. And I would say, let's see here. I always say clean your water. That just kind of goes without saying. All right. Let's do, what's next? Let's go with beets. You know, it's funny, I really like beets. So yeah, anyway, this Brian Johnson guy, he was talking with Tucker Carlson. They did an interesting interview. And we're definitely different people, but I have a lot in common, I think, with that guy. And I don't have the funding that he has, but I can see there's a few things that he's kind of missing. It'd be really good to have a conversation because he seems to be really, you know, really into his health, which I think is good. You know, you want your brain thinking right. You want your body running on all cylinders. Though Tucker, I don't think he want, you know, he was like, I don't want to have to think about what I eat. And I understand. It's the easy path. You know, there's an interesting writing in ancient scripture, and it's about the narrow gate and the wide gate. And it says the wide gate is the path to death. It's the easy path, and many shall walk it. But the path to life is a difficult path. And it's a narrow gate, and few shall find it, it says. Few. Boy, that's not a lot, is it? Very few shall find it. But that's okay, right? I actually like the way that the Egyptians look at things too. The Egyptians definitely have some very interesting perspectives on quote-unquote life and after death. Let's see. Damon Daniel says, I appreciate your channel. Thank you. What are your thoughts on making your own natto at home? I think it's awesome if you have the time. There's a lot of things that you can do, in my opinion, for your health. Making natto on your own, I think, is awesome if you can. The only thing is, I've discovered if I try to do too much, you know, it can be too much work. Believe it or not, my protocols, I try to make the easiest, fastest protocols. I try not to overcomplicate it, just because I don't want to spend all my time, you know, doing, you know, growing my, like making natto or growing my own food. It's very time consuming, and I think it's great. And if you love doing it, then hey, more power to you. But I think it'd be great to make your own natto at home. It's a very popular thing to do in Japan. I just buy it, just like all my produce. Like, can you imagine if I grew all this? That would be a lot of work. And yeah, it would be extremely, extremely time consuming and difficult. But I think it's great. Simple answer. I think it's great. What I want to do, to be quite honest, is there's a place in Japan that makes probably the best natto in the world. And I want to get some natto from them. I like to find people who have mastered a technique and then, you know, either speak with them, try whatever product it is that they have mastered, just like the hydrogen machine I use. You know, the Japanese have just masterfully made this like beautiful hydrogen machine, and I can just partake. It's so easy. I don't have to spend the millions to make it. You can just buy one when somebody else did all the work. You know, I love that kind of stuff. Okay, let's see here. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I've been having trouble with the microphone. Appreciate it. I hate narrow and difficult. Drumore. Well, you're very positive this morning, Drumore. But yeah, the difficult path. And you know what? Sometimes that is, I don't want to say that it's difficult, but I guess it is more difficult to be healthy and have to clean your water and watch what you eat. Yeah, that is more difficult, for sure. Is it as enjoyable? I guess that's what your definition is of joy and happiness, which is probably a deeper subject, which I have thought a lot about. Happiness. Now, happiness, in my opinion, has a lot to do with gratitude. And to be grateful for my health is to respect my health and myself. And I believe you'll achieve higher levels of happiness than eating something that you find enjoyable that makes you happy, like a cheeseburger or something, and then regretting it later, or eating some cake at night and regretting that, and then doing it again the next day, you know. And of course, you got to live with yourself. And so I feel better, even if I'm not perfect. If I do my super clean water and hydrogen in the morning, and then I do my smoothie in the morning, just that makes me feel physically better. And, you know, I feel like I've kind of done something for myself, even if it's not like super huge deal. But like if I make some healthy pancakes later, it's the weekend, right? I don't normally make pancakes, but if I did, then I would have them after the smoothie, and my body physically feels different too. If I have the smoothie first, the pancakes don't feel heavy, and that's because this smoothie is rich in enzymes, and it helps break down a lot of the food anyway. It's just a good way to start the day. All right, hold on, I'll be right back. Let's get some of the last ingredients. Today, you know what? Let's throw in. I'm gonna just throw something in there today because they've been sitting around and they're probably gonna go bad. Got some almonds. Almonds are really good for you. There we go. Literally the everything smoothie here. Okay, Vivian says, share people, please. Oh, thank you, that's nice. Drumore says, but the narrow part concerns me. That means there's a very specific way. Hey, that's a good point, Drumore. And you know what? I hate to say it, but I think they're kind of potentially is. Chunky says, hey, Craig, this might sound hocus pocus, but is there something too repetitive? Dreams about someone who you like. What? I didn't understand. Something about repetitive dreams? I guess go ahead and rephrase your question. And if anybody knows what they're talking about, go ahead and write it in a way that maybe I can understand. Now, I'll tell you who I think really has it right. There's a lot of wisdom in living properly or not properly. And getting the body in rhythm is, in my opinion, really important to health. So it doesn't just have to be, there's like, yeah, good health is there's a lot about it that has to do with rhythms. But a lot of people, it's too difficult, especially in this day and age, and kids and work and stress. And so to make it easy, it's always been what my channel's kind of about, actually. I'm trying to make it easy, but yet bring the body to a place where it feels good. And I think the easy thing is just, I'm telling you, just clean your water. Just clean your water. If you can add hydrogen to it, you're basically supercharging your water. And just that is gonna make a huge difference. And sleeping good hours, by the way. You know, sleeping good hours can be really good. If you can add this smoothie to it, even better. And so, let's see, Chunky. I'm gonna guess repetitive dreams about There's something about having repetitive dreams about someone you like. I guess that probably just means they're on your mind, if I'm understanding that question correctly. I used to know somebody who was really good at interpreting dreams, and they were never formally trained. They just kind of had a knack for it, and I was always impressed. And I would always ask him whenever I would have an interesting dream. I did have an interesting dream last night. It wasn't a very good one, and it's I probably shouldn't even say what it was about because I don't think anybody really wants to hear it. But if you guys really wanted to, I could share. I bet you guys could actually guess what would be on my mind. I don't think it'd be that difficult actually to guess what it was. All right, carrots. Obviously, I'm putting these in here. Yes, they're sweet. Yes, they have a bunch of really amazing properties to them. And the craziest part is, to me, I can't believe how cheap they are. They're so cheap. I mean, I can get a giant bag of organic carrots for like, I don't know, $5, $6. It's crazy. I think it's crazy. I can't believe it. That's actually why I chose to put them in the smoothie a long time ago. I'm like, wow, I can actually afford this. Now, if you wanted to juice them, I'll tell you, juicing carrots tastes so good when it's fresh, and you can buy it at the store and it just doesn't taste the same. Dremore wants to hear my dream. Like I said, it's not, well, basically it was about, I was, here, hold on. Well, like I said, it was kind of a dumb dream. It really just had to do with, in my dream, I was upset and saddened by all these hydrogen machines out there that that are just, in my opinion, not healthy at all. And so many of the just scams in the world of health, they kind of bother me actually. Because when I was really sick, I mean, I'm trying to get better, and these companies, in my opinion, mislead you. These machines that use like lye, sodium hydroxide, and like I'm not a fan of the hydrogen pills, and so it was kind of silly, but that was my dream, and I was not very happy about it. And I just wish, because I think hydrogen is actually, truly amazing and magical. Okay, I'm gonna put 2 ingredients, actually 3 more. And let me put some more hydrogen water actually. They're gonna be really important ingredients. If nothing else. Like, you know what? If nothing else, you could literally grab hydrogen water and just put the powder, the purine powder, and then add, this is one of the important ingredients right here. I guess the Vitamix is stronger. You can't pack it in that much with the Void Blender. I can actually. I do pack it on there, but I have to leave space because I need room for the vacuum part. And this is bigger, so it's a little different on that front. Okay. All right, let's get the smoothie going. Oh, that's weird. Looks like it's not. Regulars, you probably know what the last 3 magic ingredients are, but if not, go ahead and guess. All right, let's see if that's enough. I still think it's a little chunky, but let's just try it. If it is, I'll blend it some more. So let's show you the most important ingredients, because you could try to simplify health even more if you don't have a lot of time. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay, first ingredient that is absolutely necessary, in my opinion, for good health. Vitamin D3 with K2. in its ionic form. You have to have it. You have to have vitamin D. The science on it is just so important for cognitive health, bone health, immune system, yada, yada, yada. And you're not going to get enough from your food, though they try to fortify foods with it. But I've been getting my levels checked for quite some time and extremely happy that I something very anti-inflammatory too, by the way, for people who have their aches and pains and everything else. Next ingredient, hemp hearts. In my opinion, not necessary, but very well balanced protein, probably the most well balanced protein in the world, omega-3s and 6s. And it's got so much nutrition and minerals, it's kind of darn right ridiculous. And now I'll show you the final ingredient, which a lot of people seem to have a question about this. So I think what I'm going to do, so I'm just going to answer right now. I'm about to do hydrogen inhalation. Hit the button, and I can start inhaling right away. Some people think that you have to run the machine for, I don't know, half an hour before you start inhaling. That is not the case. You can inhale right away. So I just woke up, and now this is the final ingredient. The final ingredient is inhaling the hydrogen while I have my morning breakfast. In fact, yeah, you could try to get vitamin D without the K2, but it might not absorb as well. But hey, if that's what you can afford, that's what you can afford. All right, good morning, everybody. And then inhaling the hydrogen while you eat, super good thing to do too. In fact, hope Brian Johnson figures it out someday, because I like what he's trying to do. Seems positive. Okay, let's see. I can't read the thing that way though. That's the tough part. That is the problem. Okay. You can't, ginger. Oh, you're right. Oh, wait, no, I put ginger in there. In fact, here, I did put ginger in there. Do you guys want to know what the health benefits of ginger are? I bet you it's anti-parasitic. Let's see. Is ginger anti-parasitic? And I bet you it's anti-inflammatory too. But let's see. Wow. Ginger has anti-protozoal effects on Toxoplasma gondii, guys, and Giardia lamblia, and wow, actually quite a few things. Oh my gosh, that's a long list. Additionally, it was also appears to have almost like an insecticide. Wow, that's really positive. I guess nobody wants to hear about that. What else? Wow, anti-leaching effects. Molluscid. Wow. Okay, some stuff I can't even pronounce. Basically, very anti-parasitic. Wow. They literally, at the National Institute of Health, they literally did studies, and they might actually use it as a therapeutic for a certain type of parasitic infection. Wow, well, good. And I'll tell you one thing, putting this stuff in my smoothie every day. So many things. Let's see here. Yes, it's also anti-inflammatory. Anti-inflammatory, they infected mice with wow, cysts. So they even, with parasites and cysts, it helped alleviate edema, inflammation, reverse certain like neurological injuries. Wow. It also reduces inflammation in the liver, the lungs. Geez. Infections having to do with degeneration. hepatocytes. I mean, on and on it goes. Holy cow. Conclusion. Ginger is very therapeutic. Holy cow, guys. There's a reason I put, it just only makes sense sometimes. Wow. Okay. Dramore says, gas travels fast. Why would you need to wait for it? I know, people, it's really weird. People think you have to run the machine. It's just kind of weird. Tom says, what causes our noses to run when doing these smoothies? Is it a cleansing effect? You know what, for me it is. It's actually not the smoothie. Now the smoothie can have a lot of anti-mucus properties, so yes. But for me, it's the hydrogen water. When I drink the hydrogen water, it just clears me out in the mornings. And I do certain things that aren't necessarily like super good for me sometimes. Hanging out with friends, it's the weekend, stuff like that. And so the next day I'm a little mucusy, nothing huge. But the hydrogen seems to really, really move those things along, I've noticed. So I think it just keeps everything moving. Keeping everything moving is really important. Just like to keep your kidneys healthy, you need to move clean water through them. Clean water being the key. And see, Carolyn said the same thing. She goes, funny, Tom, drinking mine now and nose is running. Oh, the smoothies. Yeah, I don't know if you drink the hydrogen water before, but yes, it just gets things moving. Get it out of you, it's good. In my opinion, it's a good thing. I used to be really mucusy too. And it's gotten way better though. If I eat something like, I have eggs once in a while, that makes me more mucusy. If I have cereal, which I don't eat a lot, that makes me a little mucusy. That's why I try to stick to very simple foods. The more processed food, the more mucusy I get. So let's see here. A lot of benefits of ginger. I mean, I don't know if you guys are that impressed by it, but I'm extremely impressed. How about, wow. Ginger and cinnamon. I used to put cinnamon in the smoothies. There's a lot of benefits to cinnamon also. So ginger appears to be anti-parasitic and antimicrobial, if I can even pronounce that. I have a hard time pronouncing words. Sometimes antimicrobial. There's certain words that I don't know why I have a hard time with it. I think it's because English maybe didn't come easy to me. And Tom says, I find that hydrogen water goes through my system quickly. Do you find this also? Yes, but also, are you drinking the same amount of water you always have, or are you drinking more with the hydrogen? Because the Japanese discovered we have almost like a rhythm of the way that the water goes through us, like a certain speed. Here, hold on, I'm gonna grab some more hydrogen water. And hold on a second. Yeah, kind of spendy though, the end parts. But you know what? We're not gonna live forever, might as well treat our bodies good while we are here. Have not noticed, as says Carolyn, I am drinking a lot more. Well, that's probably why, Tom. You're drinking a lot more and your body begins to adjust and acclimate to the amount you're drinking. But yeah, I mean, hydrogen water really goes through you. It makes you pee a lot. Let's see here, Chunky, interesting name, says, I've been making your smoothies daily and feeling amazing. See, I'm telling you, they're just so good. But the only downside is experiencing bowel movements during work. And you know what? I really understand, but believe me when I tell you, better out than in. That stuff sitting inside of you is very toxic for your blood, in my opinion. Is it a good idea to switch to juicing instead of blending 3 days a week? Well, that's up to you. For me, the problem with juicing is it just won't satisfy me long enough. I drank this smoothie yesterday and I was fine all day until dinner. And juicing would never do that. So then what am I going to eat after once I get hungry? Tom said, I emailed you regarding my diagnosis. Oh yeah, prostate cancer. And have noticed urine flow is very good. There you go. See, it really is, you want your blood to carry all these anti-inflammatory properties. You want your blood to not be super thick so it can move everywhere. Hydrogen, clean water, really get those things, flowing again. That's great, Tom. I'm really happy to hear it. In fact, let's see. We were talking about ginger. Is ginger, let's see if it has an effect on cancer. Ginger and its active compounds have actually shown biological effects, including hepatoprotective, anti-inflammation, antioxidation, and anti-cancer activities. Let's see. Ginger and its constituents. Is that right? Did I read that right? Yeah. Prevention gastrointestinal cancer. And by the way, the prostate's very close to your GI. Tom says, oh, yeah, juicing's great. If you're really overweight, then I think it's really good because you'll lose a lot of weight. If you don't want to be losing much weight, I'm pretty much don't want to lose any more weight. I did lose a lot more. I was doing different protocols, and I've actually gained quite a bit back. So I'm kind of at a good place, but I would like to, I'm happy where I'm at actually as far as my weight, but I could gain more if I wanted to. But I like my body to do what it needs to do naturally. So I just let it kind of be natural, but naturally it's been getting a little stronger lately. I've been focusing more on my legs lately as far as exercise. Nothing crazy or anything. So yes, ginger appears to be amazing, guys. Okay, got it. Let's see here. How about, let's do almonds today, because I put some almonds in there today. And I know almonds are really good for you. Let's see, rich in magnesium. See, I rather get my magnesium from food, so that's pretty good. Tom says, I have not heard you mention hydrogen water enemas. Yeah, I think it would be a really good idea, but no pun intended. It would be difficult. Definitely want to use extremely clean water, carbon distilled for sure, because you're bypassing the liver. And it would just be difficult. I could just drink it. I don't think I need to put it in the other end, but I think it would be good. Chumpy says, I'm significantly overweight. Wow, okay, around 100 pounds over. And I'm considering juicing. Should I stick to one specific vegetable or fruit or try a variety? Personally, I think that's kind of up to you. You could do, the difficult thing with juicing is that you're not going to be able to get enough nutrients. You could use the purine powder and mix that with the juice. You could do just carrot juice. You could just do carrot and apple. You could do carrot and beets. You know, because carrots are going to be your cheapest bet, but you want the greens. You could change it up every 3 days. There's a lot of information online about that. But here's the thing, just remember, if it doesn't satisfy you and you start eating things that you shouldn't, then go back to the smoothies, because the whole point is trying to get yourself at a healthy weight. And I don't know how much that will work if you're going to be hungry later. Plus, it's a lot more expensive. And by the way, Chunky, I'm not sure if you're on the hydrogen water, but that helps you lose weight too. I've seen it do amazing things for people's metabolism. Let's see, almonds also have calcium, phosphorus. They're good for your bone health, and they help curb blood sugar spikes. Look at that, which is key for people with diabetes. Now, there's 9 scientific based health benefits of almonds. So they actually did studies on this. Appears to have benefits from heart health. See, I always told you almost everything I put in here is heart health. Whoa, what just happened? Dramor, thank you for all your help. Did you just send me money? Let's celebrate their first super on live stream. Wow, that's very nice of you. Wow, Dramor, thank you. That is extremely kind. Holy cow. You didn't have to do that. But I really appreciate it. You could just give a thumbs up too on the video. I appreciate that too, but wow. All right, Dramor. What is going on? Any question you want to ask? Let's see, Zen cleanses are great too. Zen cleanses. I don't know what that is. All right, let me skip the scientific benefits, health benefits of almonds, and let's see what's a Zen cleanse. What is it? Oh, whole body detox. Okay. Sounds like a promotion thing, really. They're selling all sorts of detox stuff. I don't even think all this stuff is really that necessary. I'd have to do a lot of deep homework to see if that's real. But okay, interesting. Cool. And yeah, I thought Dramor would be tired. So I don't understand. Let's see. Oh, wow, okay. You can do thumbs up. I just did a thumbs up on Dramor. Thank you for all your help. Wow. Okay, thank you. I almost don't know what to say. That's just so kind. Okay, almonds are also rich in antioxidants, vitamin E, of course, protein, and fiber. See, this is a way of getting protein with fiber. The combination, in my opinion, is important. It actually has been shown to reduce blood pressure, guys. Anybody who's suffering from high blood pressure. Almonds apparently deliver a massive amount of nutrients. I have heard that almonds might be potentially the #1 nut in the world, but I actually think hemp hearts would be right up there. Wow, my pleasure, says Dramor. Geez, thank you. To be honest, I don't know where the money goes. Maybe YouTube just deposits it automatically. I don't know. I should check that. Almonds are, let's see, fiber, protein, fats, manganese, magnesium, and vitamin E. Decent amount of copper too, and B2 and phosphorus. So, okay, rich in nutrients. Loaded with antioxidants. High in vitamin E. Vitamin E is really important, actually, as far as I've seen, for anti-cancer and anti-parasitic properties. Well, geez, that's what it literally says right here. Lowers heart disease, cancer, and Alzheimer's and dementia. We got to focus on Alzheimer's. A lot of people are losing their minds these days. They really are. We already know about the blood sugar. All right, a lot of benefits. I definitely taste the almonds today. Oh, they lower cholesterol and prevent harmful oxidation of LDL cholesterol. Wow. Anybody has cholesterol issues, get some almonds. Reduces hunger, of course. Benefit for weight loss. Bottom line. It's good for you. Okay, pretty cool. Yeah, I figured they were good for us. But walnuts, that's the one I normally put in. So here, check it out. I already know, I remember reading about very powerful anti-cancer properties from walnuts. It's a super plant source of omegas, which is protein, but it also decreases inflammation, promotes gut health, everybody needs that, reduces your risk of cancer by quite a bit, wow. Also helps you lose weight, also helps control blood sugar, type 2 diabetes, and lower blood pressure, rich in antioxidants. Instead of 9 proven benefits, it actually has 13, so potentially more than almonds. Yes, it's rich in antioxidants, just like almonds, but it has better omega-3s than almonds. Decreases your inflammation, probably about the same. Has magnesium in it too. I like to get, again, see, this is all these foods, if you realize, there's so many minerals in this smoothie and nutrients that are coming from your food. I like that it promotes a healthy gut, because we know that an unhealthy gut contributes to inflammation and literally disease, increasing your risk also of obesity, heart disease, cancer. Your gut is just so important, guys. I mean, I cannot emphasize it enough. They actually did a study apparently in 2018. Wow, almost 200 adults. And wow, I got an almond in my throat. The study was for 8 weeks. Wow, they would eat 1.5 ounces of walnuts. And at the end of the study, they showed a very big increase of beneficial bacteria compared to the people who didn't eat walnuts, or periods of time when they didn't eat walnuts. So it includes increasing really beneficial bacteria and a special type of fat that are in these nuts. This is why I like putting a lot of nuts and seeds and stuff. They have these different healthy fats that actually nourishes your gut to promote gut health. So really good. And a lot of interesting animal and human studies suggesting that eating walnuts reduces the risk, or suggests that it's reduced, or may reduce the risk of cancer like breast cancer, prostate cancer, and colorectal cancer. They're rich in polyphenols, but a specific one. That certain gut microbes actually convert these compounds to very anti-inflammatory properties. On and on it goes, yeah. I mean, gosh, so many benefits to walnuts. All right, I should probably go soon, guys. Let's see, how do I, there we go. Okay, let's see. Wow, there's a lot of comments I missed. Thank God you're live. Yeah, I'm live. Okay, I'm gonna grab a little more smoothie. I'll be right back. If I can take my hydrogen inhalation with me. Yeah, actually. Reach it. No, I can't stop drinking this smoothie. I really do like it, and it's so much easier to drink it. You know what I'm gonna take today? This I do like. I'm gonna take some Tutka. Tutka is really, really good for the liver. And I like to take it every once in a while. My liver's in good shape, but hanging out with friends, sometimes having a beer or something, you know, just have some of these. You can actually really feel the difference with this stuff. Okay, Vivian says moringa leaf power. What is your opinion on that? I think moringa is really good. I used to use it quite regularly. It's just so expensive, but I like it. Dramore says YouTube gets 30%. Sadly, they get a big chunk of the money. 30%. Oh my gosh. I think they do at least, not 100%. Oh, Dramore, you didn't have to do that, buddy. Unless you're rich or something, but maybe I can return it to you. And just the thought is what's so kind. Let's see. And pine pollen. Yeah, pine pollen is really good. A lot of the pine stuff is really good. New Jumble says, so why put fiber in it? Why put fiber in what? I'm a little confused. I don't use any fiber supplements. So I'll wait for you to clarify on that one. Let's see. New Jumble says, I stuck a lighter near my Hydrofix and the top blew off? What? That's weird. I'm not sure why you would do that, but the Hydrofix is specifically designed to make hydrogen at a 2% concentration because it's not flammable. Once you get to about 4%, it's flammable. And so if I were to hold a lighter up to this right now, it would be fine. So I don't know exactly why yours would have blown off unless there's something else in your water, my friend. And there are things, believe it or not, in water that are flammable sometimes these days. Tricks for Kids, okay, interesting name, says, I'm 25 and my blood pressure is 145/71, okay, which is isolated systolic hypertension. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, I heard is normal for people in their 60s. I'm afraid there's something wrong with my heart. You see? Kidding, of course. Don't do it. Oh, you were kidding? Oh, I see. Oh, I could do it. It won't do nothing because I have done it before and it's not flammable. Now, granted, I would say, oh, this is interesting. I don't think I've ever had this issue before. Wow, very first time that's ever happened to me. The scene just popped off. Oh, there we go. Easily went back in. Easy fix. Let's see, how do I put this back on? That's weird. Oh, there we go. Hello. Okay. Laugh out loud. I don't need a refund. Okay. Bro, my blew up. The lid just popped off. Well, it does accumulate pressure when you do inhalation. I think I held mine just to the water or something. That's kind of wild. So as far as the something wrong with my heart, well, Trixie for Kids, I mean, I don't know what's your height and weight, I guess. I will say that when I do the inhalation, there's a little like moisture from the hydrogen, and then that makes my nose a little watery. Sometimes, not necessarily all the time, but yeah. Okay, let's see here. As far as for blood pressure, look, to be quite honest with you, in my opinion, blood pressure is a really easy thing to fix. Hydrogen is super good for blood pressure. I've known people who don't change their lifestyle at all and just do the hydrogen protocol. 5'11", 280. That right there is going to be a really good telltale sign, because when your body is too big, there's new data actually showing this now. The body literally gets confused, and the way that it reacts is actually as if the body is under attack. The immune system turns on actually, and start sending random inflammation. So random inflammatory signals throughout the body. Your body basically gets really confused. Once you get healthier and drop the weight, like it's so easy, Trixie. If you were to probably do, I mean, you know, I highly recommend clean water. And I mean clean water, I mean filtered water. Like here, I mean, I've shown you guys before, but there's a carbon distiller right there. That cleans your water completely. All viruses, bacteria, parasites, pharmaceuticals, radioactive contaminants, on and on it goes. Fluoride, PFAS, you know, it's such a long list. I have a whole literally book with all the lab reports. And you do the clean water, hydrogen, and these smoothies, and just eliminate certain foods that you probably know are not good for you. And I believe, in my opinion, your heart condition will probably go away. I had a heart condition, by the way, and mine went away from a lot of this lifestyle, but it was actually the hydrogen from the Hydrofix that really seemed to change things. I was living really healthy. I still had the heart condition, and I was supposed to get open heart surgery for it. And then when I got the Hydrofix, the very first one in 2018, and I started doing a little bit different protocols with this inhalation like I'm doing right now, and I was kind of surprised when my heart condition went away because I was getting scheduled for surgery. I was scared to death. So, okay. Carolyn says, my cannula totally fell apart first time. Well, it doesn't fall apart. I just had the tube here that pops off. And I just put it back in. It was super easy. Okay. Trixie for kids. Oh yeah, 5'11", 280. New jumbles. How long do you do inhalation? Well, it depends. It really is going to depend on the equipment too. So, because I don't like to give suggestions, and then I've seen people use different equipment, and I have seen inhalation equipment that literally makes people sick. That's the whole reason I get upset about the whole hydrogen thing. Because, you know, if you make it wrong, it can be, in my opinion, potentially harmful. If you're inhaling, at least from the Hydrofix, I inhale, honestly, I follow the water protocol. The inhalation, I probably inhale on average, geez, it depends on the day. Some days I'll go without inhaling at all. Some days I'll inhale as much as 6 hours. On average, I'm probably doing 2 hours. You know, 90 minutes, 2 hours, something like that. But I like to do it now while I eat, and yeah, I just do it throughout the day. That's the reason that I actually got a separate machine. I noticed that if I have a separate machine for inhalation, I do it more often. When it's just one machine, it's really kind of difficult. New Jumble says, I have Hydrofix Pro or something. I don't know if there is such a thing as a Hydrofix Pro. There's just the Lourdes Hydrofix Premium. Maybe that's the one you're talking about. The official company's website is holyhydrogen.com to get the real one. Everybody seems to be so jealous of this machine. They either try to copy it. The Chinese have made knockoffs and they don't have the proper technology, so you're not really getting the real deal. It's like buying a Ferrari that has a, you know, Toyota Corolla engine or something. And it is the #1 machine in Japan for a reason, but then people try to make videos bashing it even so also because, again, they seem to be really threatened by the technology. And I mean, I guess if I was a business, I would be, but I just want the best, so that's that. That is the one also. Thanks for the code. Oh, you're welcome. $100 off. Yeah, it helps. Thanks, I got it from the website. Yep. Okay, so you have the same one. Yeah, you can inhale. Honestly, you can inhale as much as you want from this one. Super clean. A good protocol to do is periodically take a deep breath. So like really fill your lungs up and as much as possible with a lot of hydrogen. That actually does make a difference. I'm gonna try to show some footage of the difference, but that's one of the protocols you can do when you're doing the inhalation. Some really deep inhales from the nose. Man, I want more smoothie. Can you believe that? I'm gonna end up drinking that whole thing. I didn't really want to drink it all. Okay, let's just save a little bit for somebody else, huh? Let's see here. Yep, okay. I better leave the rest of that alone. Man, can you imagine? Just drink a whole smoothie in one sitting. So I just drink hydrogen water for now on. Well, that's what I would do. I would recommend watching video 426. You really got to care for the machine properly. If you care for it properly, it's like one of these crazy Toyota cars that will go a million miles. And most hydrogen machines can't do that. Most hydrogen machines are always breaking, by the way. They're always breaking. That's one thing I learned doing a lot of research and owning a lot of machines. The majority of them break often. If you take care of this one properly, it will last an extremely long time, which actually means that it's the cheapest way of getting hydrogen in the long term. Because, you know, yeah, cheap China stuff. And things break down. And even like membranes and plated metals, and their computers get too hot. You know, you buy a machine, you read the owner's manual, and it'll literally say something like, after you run the machine for 10 or 20 or 30 minutes, do not run the machine anymore. It's like, what? You got to give it a 10 or 20 minute break. And it's like, I can run this thing all day long, never stop. In a lot of machines, they tell you you have to stop them because they overheat and all sorts of stuff. New Jumbo says, I heard they ran it for like 8 years. Yeah, they did something crazy. They did a stress test. It was a 7-year stress test. And they simulated basically 7 years of constant running because they were trying to find, and the Japanese do this a lot, and I love that they do this. They're trying to find the weak points so they can fix them so the machine can be very reliable and well built. And after the 7 years, nothing was going wrong. And they even couldn't believe it. They thought something should go wrong, but they focused on every little quality thing that they could do. And so, yeah, they just stopped the test. They're like, okay, that's more than good enough. 7 years of running nonstop, it's gonna be fine for a very long time. So yes, very good machine. If you're into hydrogen. So periodically again, deep inhale. Yeah, just really fill up those lungs. And you know, even if you're not doing hydrogen, there's oxygen in the air. So if you do that, it's also good for you. Just some deep inhales from the nose. All right, guys, any last questions before I say goodbye? Let's see here. Spice things up. That's what Deborah Moore says. Spices life up. All right, Trixie for kids. I really hope you, especially if you have kids, I hope you make some changes in your life. Get healthier, get happier, because I just think it's so important. Let's see. Dramor says, I'm always concerned when I lift it or put it down that I'll damage the metal part sticking out that reads the water. You know, it's not a big deal. I've lifted up these pictures and put them down so many times, and it's fine. But you do, I mean, there's a little line there that you're supposed to line it up with, so that really helps. New Jumble says, I use Poland spring water and distill water for the filter. Is that good? I would actually do it the opposite way. I would put the Poland spring water in the filter cartridge, like right here. I'll just show you, I guess. I would put the Poland spring water in here, and I would put the distilled water in the pitcher because that's the one you're gonna drink. That's what I would do. New Jumble says, what was that video? Oh, 426. Actually, I would watch 426, 337, maybe somebody can write it for him, and even 388. Carolyn says, thank you, Greg. Have a fantastic day, everyone. Thank you, Carolyn. Hope you have a fantastic day, too. Be happy out there, everybody. New Jumble says, thanks. Welcome. Well, I am definitely full and satisfied. So, all right, guys. Any last questions? Dramore, you can ask any question you want, because, boy, I can't believe it. You gave 99. Is that, it says CA. I'm assuming that's Canadian. Oh, Canadian. Oh, Canadian. Canadian, eh? You like beer, eh? Me too, eh? I'm gonna move to Canada someday. Probably not. They're kind of doing some crazy, wacky stuff out there in Canada, eh? I just can't believe it. Probably shouldn't bring up politics, but do you like Trudeau? Just curious. Just asking for a friend. Okay, let's see. New Jumble says, thanks, you're welcome. Jesus Montes, or Jesus, or is it Jesus? You ever look into colloidal silver? Yes, many times. I've used it. We actually make it on our own. Way better than buying it. Finn says, that's like $73 USD. But yeah, Jesus, I would say colloidal silver is good for certain things, not to be overused, but it's a good tool. In fact, the ancient Egyptians used it, believe it or not, inside coffins sometimes. And it was quite amazing. And yeah, it has very interesting properties. Jesus says, same. Jamor says, no more questions. I just appreciate your time and help and information. Oh, thank you, Jamor. Very, very kind of you. Very kind. I appreciate you too, my friend. Jamor says, I love Castro Trudeau. I can't say otherwise. That's right. You are in Canada, so you got to be careful what you say. Yeah, if I lived in Canada, I would love him too. I don't know if I'd vote for him, but I'd love him, right? Always say good things. Actually, do you vote, Dramore? Do they vote in Canada? I'm sure they do, right? Who's worse, Trudeau or Biden? Oh, wow. Oh, look, Jesus just gave me $4.99. Okay, I got to give him a like. That's very kind of him. Wow, you guys are very kind today. I'm always willing to give my time for free, and I just appreciate the thought, guys. And of course, I'll put that money towards, I'm probably going to put the money towards my Japan trip or my smoothies. In fact, I think I'm going to make, either going to make some green tea or some fresh coffee. I don't put any milk, no processed sugar, just organic. Why organic? Coffee is the second most heavily sprayed crop in the world. If you drink coffee that's not organic, most likely drinking a cup of chemicals. So I get my own organic, grind it myself, and make a nice cup there. In fact, you know what I'm gonna do? So after I'm done with my smoothies, you can see that there's a residue in the cup. And I like to put some hydrogen water in it, actually. I don't like to waste anything. So I like to get the little last bits of there with the last bit of hydrogen water. Yeah, video 337 is good too. Did I say 337? Yeah, 337, 388, and 426. I got so many, it's hard to remember them all. Sometimes I'm surprised at the stuff I do remember, but I will say I think all these healthy things I've done have helped me cognitively so much, and it's helped other people who have cognitive issues too. Kind of surprising how much it works, considering doctors say it's impossible to help people with dementia. I'm starting to reverse my beliefs on that, considering the things that I've seen and some of the new data coming out, of course. All right, guys, let's see. Who's worse, Trudeau or Biden? Oh, wow. Not to get too political, but I guess if I were to give my opinion, geez, who's worse? Well, I don't know. I think they're both pretty bad. But I don't think Biden ever locked anybody's bank accounts yet, like the truckers. So I probably shouldn't talk about that, but yeah, I'm more of a, the thing about me is that I'm more of a data guy. So I'm data driven. I don't really care whether it's Trudeau or Biden or anybody. I honestly don't care. All I care is about policy and the rules being quote unquote created or used or whatever. So that's all I really care about. I think people focus too much on the person. I mean, what if you had some guy who is like a total goofball or doesn't dress nice or whatever, maybe not even the best public speaker, but he's really good at policy, like really good rules that are beneficial to mankind, you know? That's all I care about. I don't know why we focus so much on the person. Maybe somebody can tell me why they think they focus too much on the person. It's kind of wild. Drumore, though, Castro, Trudeau, that's funny. I have seen the pictures. They do look eerily similar, don't they? Or is that just like you put anybody side by side and they look similar? Put me next to Castro and I look like Castro? Well, I doubt it. They do seem to look similar, though. All right, guys, either I'm going to say goodbye or I'm going to make a cup of coffee. If you guys have any last questions, let me know. Otherwise, I should probably say goodbye. Actually, I'm going to give you guys a few seconds while I grind some coffee to see if you have any last questions, and then I'll say goodbye. Since Jamor and Jesus gave some donations, I'm going to keep it open a little longer for questions. All right. Okay. You know what? Maybe I'll show you guys. There's this. Where is that? Where did it go? I actually have this new coffee that appears to be quite medicinal. I forgot to tell you guys about it. There's a company, I wanted to try it. I guess I could show it to you guys if you guys want to see it. I have a link. I did a video on it before, but just in case you haven't seen it, you can go use that link if you want to support the channel and you want to try it. But they're inoculating the coffee. And some of the best stuff they've been finding lately for dementia and Alzheimer's has to do with certain benefits or nutrients from mushrooms. So this is one of the ones, Kings Canyon blend, and it's got what's called Coriolis versicolor. That is a type of extract from a mushroom. So I've been using this one to make some coffee, and then this is my ground up one that I grind myself. I kind of mix them because the one I normally use is, you can see it's much darker, and it has such a wonderful smell when you freshly grind it. And this Coriolis versicolor seems to be really good for the immune system and having some interesting effects, actually. Some very interesting effects on cancer potentially. So let's see. All right. And then of course raw honey. I like using raw honey for any sweetener. You'd be surprised at the health benefits of raw honey. Yeah, I'm not big on using just about any sweetener except raw honey. I was surprised, because it's sugar, a type of sugar, but it has some amazing properties even for cancer, which is kind of surprising for something that is a sugar. But it like I said, it has a lot of properties as long as it's not pasteurized. All right, let's see here. Finn says, imagine Biden trying to buy some ice cream in Canada and Trudeau closes his bake. Well, that would be funny and interesting. Is that chaga? Not chaga. It's Coriolis versicolor actually is coming from a specific Japanese mushroom that has been found to have these really high levels of these, not only these very anti-cancer properties, but it has to be extracted at a specific time in their growth. It's really quite amazing. And you know what, just to share with you guys, you can ask any question you want, but I'm going to bring this up because this is interesting. Let's see. Because normally sugar is not good for cancer. And yet, this is interesting. Honey, now remember, you need to find a good beekeeper. I could give you guys the website that I use. Honey has been proven So this is pretty wild. That's a pretty bold claim. Proven to decrease the tumor, I can't even say the word tumor. I don't know what's wrong with my mouth. Tumorigenicity of different cancer types, including breast cancer, lung, skin, renal, prostate, colorectal, and cervical. So check this out here, hold on. Because you'd be surprised how amazing raw honey is, really. I mean, you know, really truly is free. But you have to, a lot of the stores claim that it's raw, and I've been finding out that it isn't. And so let's see here. So basically, and just so you guys, for you guys who want to know what maybe tumorigenicity is, it's basically defined as the capacity of a cell population transplanted into an animal model to produce a tumor by proliferation at the site of transplantation or at the distant site of metastasis. So let's see here. So the honey decreases this in so many different types of cancer cells. Moreover, honey has also been proven to enhance, this is also interesting, enhance the effects of chemotherapeutic drugs. And that's also important because I have discovered a lot of things that do enhance how good chemotherapy works on cancer. And that's really important because if you are going through something like that, you want the chemotherapy to actually work. So, yada, yada, yada. You guys want to hear from an actual medical website, honey has anti-cancer effects. I mean, there is actually a growing body of evidence that suggests that honey literally possesses anti-cancer properties through several mechanisms, from antioxidant activity to p53 regulation to cell cycle arrest to, I mean, it just goes on and on. Even estrogen modulation. So that means that it potentially really appears to help with hormone balance, which is really, really important. And people don't talk about it enough. And on it goes. There's so much stuff. I don't want to bore you guys to death with it, but I could. Tremor says, someone was telling me that raw honey has defense mechanisms in it so that we can't digest it easily. I don't know who's telling you that, my friend, but I don't believe that at all. The data certainly doesn't suggest that. Raw honey is extremely good for you. I mean, it has antimicrobial activities, antioxidants, bioactive compounds in it. The composition of honey actually is really quite interesting if you ever wanted to read all the type of amino acids, and you know, its whole profile is really quite remarkable. I like the anti-cancer effects. I mean, that's one thing. I just feel like cancer is coming for all of us at some point. And so the best we can do to slow it down, and, you know, the best we can do. I could look up here, let's see. Let's look up what Dremore said. Raw honey, that we can't digest it easy. Okay, let's just see if that's true. Let's just see if there's any data on that. Is raw honey hard to digest? Okay, let me go grab my warm cup of joe here with raw honey in it. That's the only thing I put in it. I don't put anything but just a little raw honey, and that's it. Okay, let's see. Easier to digest. It literally says the honey may literally be easier to digest than sugar itself. Well, they know they put sugar in everything these days. And this is due to its composition. Regular sugar has to be ingested before being broken down. But bees actually add an enzyme to the honey, and those sugars are basically already or partially broken down, making it easier to digest. Boy, I don't know who your friend is giving you advice for more, but I would question it. Have them give you some data, you know? So I think we just answered that one. Now, Medical News Today has an interesting article where they actually put normal sugar and heads up against honey, and to see not only what's healthier, but the pluses and minuses, and see if there's any differences. I like when they do these studies. So fructose, and basically just sugar, is actually associated with obesity, fatty liver disease, and diabetes. Duh, that doesn't surprise me one bit. Now, honey actually has water in it, pollen in it, minerals in it, including magnesium and potassium. I'm telling you, this is why I love honey. Honey is just, you're not going to get that from your average sugar. Okay, let's see. Somebody says, what are your thoughts about C60? I hate to say it, I think it's a scam, in my opinion. I've used it, I've researched it. It actually has stuff in it that I now regret even putting into my body. I just think it's a waste of money. Dramor says, it was my neighbor and he was calling me fat. Oh, well, sorry to hear that, Dramor. I don't know why anybody would call anybody fat. It seems kind of not very sensitive, but hey, unless you guys were arguing about something. Wow, honey. Oh, honey. So good, benefits. It used to be used in ancient times as medicine and a sweetener. What a special color. I like all the different colors of honey. I know a beekeeper and I go and see all this honey, and I like to get the good stuff, guys, straight from the beekeeper. Do not get it from the store if you can avoid that. The reason, in my opinion, and actually the scientific evidence also suggests that my opinion is the same as theirs, which is basically there's specific enzymes that they're put in the honey, and this helps it in so many ways. It helps keep it fresh, the breakdown of it. You get more nutrients. Literally get in the honey like amino acids, antioxidants, enzymes, minerals, vitamins. I mean, you're not going to get that from just processed crappy sugar, in my opinion. The research shows that the dark honey has more antioxidants. And I will say, I always try to choose the dark honey. The darker the, what do they call it? The darker the honey, the better the juice. I don't know. Yep. Okay, cough suppressant. They literally did studies for bronchitis, and I think we all know that honey is good for coughs. Allergy relief. I'm sure everybody's heard about that one. There was an actual published study in 2011 that, I don't have any allergy issues, actually. So that's very interesting. They would reduce symptoms by about 60%, though hydrogen I've seen also be amazing for people who've had, allergies. Let's see. Then it would go to 70% symptoms and reduction as the longer that they used it with severe symptoms. So that was pretty remarkable. It actually has, people who were using honey were able to reduce their antihistamines by 50% as compared to a control group. That's a lot. So honey is just amazing. Now you can use it topically too for wound healing, for dermatitis. I have heard that and seen it, and it works. Easy to digest. That's so funny. You're back to that, Dramor. Your buddy doesn't know much. The darker the berry, the better the juice. Yeah, something like that, says Anne. Yeah, and that's why I like the blueberries. If you notice, like the blueberries are really rich in color and dark. The beets that I use, gosh, they stain everything, and they're really dark, and I like that. My rich leafy greens are just really dark, in color, and I like that. I like my carrots to look a certain way. I was picky about picking my carrots. Just all the stuff. Let's see here. Risk. You don't want to give infants honey. I think we've all heard that before. Don't do that. Let's see. Well, that's about it, isn't it? Benefits. Benefits of sugar. Oh man. Low cost. That's the benefit. That's funny. They're talking about health benefits and they say low cost and long shelf life. That's hilarious. That has nothing to do with health. Who wrote this article? You know what? They're probably just trying to think of something. More disadvantages. Well, they're trying to talk about the advantages. That was it. That was the advantages. Oh my gosh. The benefits of sugar. The list is like pretty much almost non-existent. They did talk about molasses. Disadvantages though, which is higher glycemic index, increase of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, more problems for the liver, literally causing things like fatty liver disease, cholesterol issues, obesity, cavities, changes in gut bacteria. So here's one for you, Drumore. Again, normal sugar is actually associated with a less healthy gut bacteria diversity, which increases your risk of chronic disease. So I don't know about digestion, but more difficult to digest than honey. There it is again. And that's because sugar does not contain any enzymes. So it makes it difficult to digest. Interesting. Yikes. Okay. Yes, increased risk of illness, blood sugar spikes, weight gain, increases risk of tooth decay. All right. We know sugar's no good, right? All right. How about sugar alcohols? And well, you gonna substitute sugar alcohols for sugar? That's funny. Or things that say sugar-free, or no added sugar. Those are, in my opinion, not good. All right, am I just talking to myself at this point? I guess I should probably let you guys go, huh? Okay, any last questions? Otherwise, I'm gonna shut her down. Possible health risks of all these fake type of sugars. Lots of digestive issues. I have read that, have heard about that. Totally screws up your gut microbiome. Really don't get fully absorbed by the body either. Literally people with like IBS, like irritable bowel syndrome, can just basically make your GI issues worse. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I've known that the whole sugar-free, no added sugar is just a bunch of nonsense, in my opinion. Things like, let's see, and they're extracts from like sorbitol, mannitol, maltitol, I think it is, hydrogenated starch, hydrolysatates, oh my gosh, erythritol, xylitol. Xylitol, though, I thought was good. Let's see, xylitol can be made, so it can be made with different materials. When made properly, I would correct that, because it can be made from birch wood. Now, birch wood, quite interesting actually. Corn cobs and leftover sugarcane stalks. I would go with the one from birch wood if you can. I know the Japanese are the ones who did some very interesting research on that. And okay, nutritional information. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and just say goodbye, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully this was helpful. And I'll see you guys next time on the next one. Okay, any last questions? Anybody have any questions? I kind of doubt it. I'll give you guys about like 10 seconds. Okay. All right, no questions, guys. Thanks for hanging out. See you guys next time on the next one.